All right, my friends, it's Eric Lee here with Equity Real Estate and Elite Agent Training. And the day that we've been waiting months for has finally come out. We have a mobile home contract for you now. All right, here's the problem and why we had to develop this. Mobile homes are not technically real estate, and yet they're posted on the MLS, and agents have been helping people buy and sell them forever, but they're not real estate. If they are not affixed to real property, they're just in a mobile home park or something like that, then it's just like a big car. There's a title to it and you handle it down at the DMV, but it's not real estate. So we've been pressuring, and when I say we as a state, there's leadership meetings, and I'm president of the board this year. And so I get to participate in these meetings. And every time we have a meeting and the director from the Division of Real Estate is there, he gets asked, what about mobile homes? When are we going to get clarification on this? And so in one of his recent newsletters, Director Stewart came out and said, and this is for Utah, but he came out and he said, look, we're licensed to do real estate. Mobile homes, by definition, are not real estate. But at the same time, there is no law that talks directly about mobile homes and how to do these. So we can give direction on two things. Number one, earnest money in a real estate trust account should be for real estate. Mobile homes are not real estate, so we should not be holding earnest money for a mobile home in our trust account. Number two, we've got a real estate purchase contract that again is built for real estate. Mobile homes aren't real estate, so much of the language in that real estate purchase contract does not apply. So he said that he recommended we not use the real estate purchase contract and that we not hold earnest money in our trust account because that could be potentially considered commingling. Now, until we have further direction from the Division of Real Estate, we're going to run with what we have from that newsletter that he sent out. And so we've been talking with an attorney and have developed a form for you. I want to show you where to get it. So I've built this mobile home test loop, and I would go into here to add a document and go to templates, and you'll look down here at Master Mobile Homes Forms. There's a new folder available for you. I click on that. We've only got two things in here right now. I'm going to open up both of them for you. Okay, I'm going to actually move the indemnification agreement up top. We will be building a checklist for you as well, which will also be in that folder. For now, if you're doing a mobile home sale, you can use your regular checklist for buyers or sellers, but we will be adding a checklist for you as well. So let's check both of these forms and open them and look at what they are. If you haven't seen these before, let me close that out. If you haven't seen these before, first of all, we have an indemnification agreement. The importance of understanding the indemnification agreement, it's pretty strong. Okay, we provide errors and omissions insurance for you here at Equity Real Estate, but you need to understand that they don't cover mobile home sales. It's real estate insurance. So a couple things to understand here. The agent's licensed to provide real estate services, assisting buyers or sellers in purchasing and selling real estate, and you're an independent contractor. All right. The brokerage maintains errors and omissions insurance for real estate activities. The brokerage insurance provider will not provide insurance for transactions for the purchase or sale of mobile homes. Accordingly, the broker will not allow any agents or brokers to participate in or provide services regarding any mobile home transactions unless they first sign this agreement and provide the brokerage with the indemnification protections set forth below. So this is something that you need to sign, understanding that if you do engage in mobile home sales, then you're not protected by errors and omissions insurance, and you agree to indemnify the company as well. So that's this third section here. Agent irrevocably indemnifies and holds harmless the brokerage and its employees, officers, et cetera, from and against any and all costs, legal fees, claims arising out of or resulting from any mobile home transactions in which the agent is involved. In other words, if you get a lawsuit against you and they also name the company, then you're going to be covering the company's costs as well. Now, I'll be honest, we don't get a lot of lawsuits. I don't know of any lawsuits with these, but you need to make sure that you understand how that plays out. Okay, so there's the indemnification agreement, and it's going to be required on every mobile home file. Now let's look at this mobile home sales contract. Again, we've got the language here that just says that unless a mobile or manufactured home has been permanently affixed to real property, it does not constitute real property. And so, in many states, your real estate license doesn't authorize you to represent someone in a mobile home transaction. On the other hand, the law in most states doesn't prohibit you from assisting somebody in this type of transaction. So you want to make sure what your law is. Now, I'm the principal broker for Utah, and I've already gone over how that law works for us. Basically, we're falling into a category that isn't addressed by the law. So agents are doing mobile home sales. So upon direction from divisions of real estate and our attorney, we will allow mobile home sales to be processed through our payroll department, but we can't hold the earnest money. All right. So you need to understand that right up front. And we're not going to hold, process, or facilitate the distribution of any funds except commissions. So in other words, if we have the closing of a sale of a mobile home, we're not going to have a client write us a $90,000 check, and then we're responsible for paying off liens, paying off sellers, and then paying commissions. The only money that we're going to receive is the actual commission. Okay. And so that leads us to the actual contract itself. So we start out here and we've got a license number. If there is a license number associated with this mobile home, the manufacturer, model, serial number, etc., anything that we can do to identify the actual mobile home itself, that's where we put this information here. We've got the buyers and sellers information. Now we've got the purchase price. And instead of earnest money, we have a deposit. And again, we've got it mentioned right here that no deposit money may be held at Equity Real Estate. So where do you hold the deposit? Title companies won't hold it either, usually, because they're involved in real estate as well. And so you can hold the deposit just as if you were buying a car. You know, you put down a deposit, the seller holds that deposit while you take the car down and get it checked out with the dealer, something like that. Same type of concept applies here. You can negotiate where you hold it. You just can't hold it in our trust account because the division has come down and taken a stance on that. All right, so we've got a deposit, we've got the remaining purchase price, which gives us a total purchase price. This field should match this line up here. All right, next, when it goes to closing, in exchange for the mobile home title and bill of sale, that transfer of funds and everything will be coordinated between the buyer and seller. And usually it's just showing up and giving each other a check, okay? If they do choose to wire your commission, then use the commission disbursement wire instructions form. If they're not going to wire it and they're going to write you a check, then again, just understand that there's going to be that it's a 5 business day hold. So typically it ends up being 7 calendar days before you can get your commission. All right, we've got a closing date put in here. We've got a definition of default, buyer and seller default, and both of those we've put in just the amount of that deposit as the liquidated damages option. Okay, we have a chance in here for seller to provide disclosures, and they've got however many days, which would be their disclosure deadline. And in their disclosures, they're going to describe any material defect in the home, and they're also going to provide the contact information for the HOA so that the buyer has a chance to contact the HOA and make sure that they get approved to live in that HOA and understand all the costs associated with that. Then the buyer will also have their own inspection deadline, however many calendar days from execution of this agreement, and they get a chance to do any kind of inspections that they want. Okay, they can check out the land, any rules and regulations of the HOA, etc. Okay, any other tests that they want to do. And again, if they don't clear this in the buyer's sole discretion, if they're not satisfied with the findings of the inspection, then they can cancel this agreement by 5 p.m. on this inspection deadline and get a full return of their deposit. And then the seller just says that they are the legal owner of the property and that they will defend the buyer against any claims against the buyer's title. Next, down here, the state does require us in real estate sales, and we've incorporated the same thing here to disclose if the agent is licensed, and if so, what their license number is, and the brokerage license number as well. Okay. Then we've got the transfer of ownership, and that it's going to be broom clean and free of debris, and that it's anyways. So everything is in here that you need for your mobile home sale, and we would like you to start using this contract immediately. So it's August 10th right now, 2022. You're authorized to go ahead and start using this. And the question has come up, what if we're a seller and the buyer brings an offer to us on a standard real estate purchase contract? Well, we can't force a buyer to use our forms, but we can encourage it. Okay, so in this case, we would like to, a couple of options that came up is when we list a mobile home on the MLS, we could upload this form in there as one of the documents and say in the agent remarks, we would prefer that any offers come through on our mobile home sales contract that we've created for this, because much of the real estate purchase contract would not apply in this case. Okay, so you could upload it that way. You could, if you got an offer on a standard purchase contract, you could respond to them and say, hey, there's been some direction from the division that we shouldn't be using this form. Would you like to write it up on this one? If they say, no, we want to use this form, we're not going to tell you no, that you can't receive a real estate purchase contract, because we don't have that clear of an instruction yet from the Division of Real Estate. If we do, then I'll do a follow-up training on this and let you know. But for now, I wanted you to know that these forms are available for you to start using immediately. Thank you.